Hi, folks, and welcome to the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm here in the Murray State locker room inside the CFSB Center. Dave Winder with you. And before we take a look at the Saturday game against Jacksonville State, let's look ahead at what's coming up. This is the week where the Racers have their bye week, so to speak, where they don't play a Wednesday or a Thursday game, and the next game is at home, which starts a three-game homestand for the Racers against Austin Peay, and it'll be a noon tip on Saturday. We hope that you'll be out at the CFSB Center. That game will also be on ESPNU. Here with head coach Steve Prohm after a very tough 65-64 loss Saturday at Jacksonville State. Coach, with 40 seconds to go, the Racers were down by 5, came back and took the lead, lost it on a couple of free throws. It was a long trip home too, wasn't it?
It was a long trip home. Bus broke down and ended up getting home about 5 in the morning. But put ourselves in a tough position, being down 9 at halftime. Our guys were resilient to fight their way back. But a couple things down the stretch. We got a wide open 3, but probably we weren't fluid right there. But Isaiah's good enough; he can get an open shot for somebody, and he did. And Dexter missed a 3, but I should have probably called a timeout there and got something set up to get Isaiah a shot or get the ball inside to Ed. But we still were able to come back. They did execute out of the side. Stacy made a big 3. We turned them over in the press. And then Brandon, they executed underneath out of bounds. But, we've got to do a better job, and that's all on me, is preparing them for those situations that you don't foul in that situation. You don't reach, you guard head up, switch everything, and you're not looking to reach. And then Jeff's a freshman, and it's a learning situation for him. But then right on those free throws, I should have subbed and been able to relay a message out there to our guys, and I didn't do that. But our guys should be trained that they know right what play, because we have a play in that situation, and we didn't get into it, and that's on me, and I've got to do a better job.
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and roll the highlights here. First, take a look at the first half, and then we'll show you those plays Coach just talked about late in the game. It was a tight game. But, Coach, early on, the Racers got out to a 7-2 lead. But then at about, the 8:51 mark, Jacksonville kind of methodically, I looked up, and I'm like, oh, my goodness, it's a 12-0 run, and the Racers were down 25-17. And really, when you think about it, probably we're fortunate to be down only 9 at half.
Yeah, I took Isaiah and Ed out at the same time, which maybe wasn't smart. I don't know. We've got to be able to get good bench play. They went up from there. They went on a 5-0 run, so I called timeout. Wish I wouldn't have called timeout to burn that one, because we ended up burning 2 in the first half. Because we couldn't get the ball in bounds, and then we ended up turning over because we called timeout. We still couldn't get in bounds because we're not fluid in our execution. But we shouldn't have been down 9 going into the half. We scored 6 points the last 11 minutes. We turned the ball over 6 times. We were 1 for 7 from 3, and we only got 2 shots inside the paint. We got to take better threes, and we got to get the ball inside more.
Okay, so the Racers went into the halftime locker room down 30-21. Then in the second half, it was a seesaw battle basically from the start of the second half. The Racers were down by as many as 8 after they cut it down to 2 a couple of times. Really, we're kind of getting some things going offensively. But then there were some times there where you weren't getting the offense that you wanted, and when you did get a good shot this week, the Racers just weren't knocking them down all the time.
Yeah, we got some great looks. We had some Dexter Fields and Jeffrey Moss had tremendous looks in the second half that really would have put us up 3 a couple times. And we're 5 for 36 from the 3. We're 28 for 48 from the free throw line. Our guys, we're resilient and tough, and they're always going to be like that. But at some point, you got to make shots to continue to take pressure off your defense.
Well, finally, with 2:30 to go, Cannon got his own miss and put it back to tie the game. And then kind of take us through the last 1:30, Coach. Fields had a corner 3 in there that would have tied the game, and then Boggs hit the big 3 for Jacksonville. That was a big shot.
Yeah, it was big. We finally get it tied up, and I can't remember if Brandon made a layup to tie it up. I think Brandon got the layup to tie it up. We go back, we get a stop, and we come down, and I'm trying to call something from the bench so we don't have to use a timeout. they don't get into it. And right then and there, it should have been timeout to make sure we execute. But, you know, anytime we got Isaiah coming off, you know, a ball screen, I like his decision making. He found Dexter's wide open, missed the three. We played great defense for 31 seconds. Boggs hits a three. We're down 3. And then again, as another time, I should have probably called timeout just to get a good look. Isaiah took a quick 3. But I trust Isaiah in all those situations. You know, he's been great, you know, every year he's been here. So, you know, I got 100% trust in him. But what I am proud of our guys is we get down 5, we call timeout, we execute out of sight, out of bounds to cut it to 2. We foul.
That was the Wilson 3.
Wilson 3 off the handoff. That was our look. If Isaiah's not open, it's a dribble handoff with Brandon and Stacy, and they get the 3. We foul, make 1, miss 1, and then we come down. Isaiah attacks, gets the free throw line. We could use our timeout, down 1. We get in 40 red, our full court trapping press. We turn them over. Now we're going to run our action to get the ball to Isaiah, spread it out and let him attack. The clock goes off. I don't know what happened there. I know we ended up making the basket with Brandon, but in that situation, you're almost better off if Isaiah's using a little clock to get to the basket and draw a foul, and the clock gets stopped, so you make it. But so then we have to, you know, change on the fly with that play. Jeffrey makes a great pass. Brandon reads the play exactly right and makes a huge play. And now we got to be smart in transition defense. Watching the tape, you know, Dexter's got the guy stopped. He spins off Isaiah, and then and we teach our guys be up the line. Jeff's flat, and he reaches in, and you can't tell if he fouled, didn't foul. But edge right there, and if we just play our rules, wall up, it's going to be a tough contested shot. But they foul, the kid makes 2 free throws, and then and there, our guys need to know, and I need to do a better job. It's on me, not them. We're running Vandy right there, which is our full court play, and I should have subbed to be able to relay that message because they couldn't hear me from the other side of the bench, and then, you know, we got a tough shot up at the end.
Well, you would love to have maybe had another timeout there too with 2.4.
That's what's frustrating because we blew 2 in the first half, which we shouldn't have used any. You know, but you're going to lose one anyways. But, you know, if you have one timeout, Brandon makes the basket, you call timeout, set your defense because, you know, they're going on the fly.
Well, there you see the box score as well at the end of the game. And, Coach, this is really fascinating stuff for those of us who love basketball and follow Racer basketball to hear your thoughts on the game and just those little things that happened early that affected the game late. But it was a tough loss for the Racers. But they did get a victory on Thursday night, and we're going to show you that one next. It was a big win at Tennessee Tech. We'll do that next on the Racer Report.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Murray State tradition. We are racers.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
I'm not that drunk. My house is only down the street.
I'm the most sober one here.
I only have 1 drink.
According to studies, 25% of 21-year-old college students have admitted to drinking and driving. Almost every 90 seconds, someone is injured. Every day, 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. Don't be selfish. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and drive.
That's the worst half of football I've ever seen. Are you telling me we can't do this?
I got this, Coach.
You know, people said, Pepsi Max? You can't get maximum Pepsi taste with 0 calories.
Who said that?
But Pepsi Max didn't listen.
We just delivered it. So get out there and taste that sweet 0-calorie victory!
The little guy's right.
Yeah!
Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Do you validate parking?
Hi, folks, and welcome back to the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. The Racers got a big victory, and when I tell you the score on Thursday night, you're going to go, wait a minute, was that a halftime score? No, it was 47-39 was the final score. Coach, let's go ahead and take a look at it. This was a crazy, crazy game. Neither team were making many shots. When the game was over, both teams had more turnovers than field goals. Have you ever been involved in a game like that in your career?
No, that was the ugliest game that I've been a part of. But, you know, you look back at the last two games, we've gotten off to great starts. The problem is we got off to a great start there, and then they'd gotten foul trouble, and it became a grinder. And they did a terrific job making the game ugly and making it slow. They subbed on every free throw situation. They subbed on every dead ball situation. They changed defenses every possession. They face guarded Isaiah. They double teamed Isaiah. And when they do, that other guy's got to step up and make plays for others and make shots.
Well, here in the first half, Coach alluded to a great start for the Racers. They were up 8-0. But then there at the, I had it as the 14-19 mark. I think they called Ed for an illegal screen on the far side or something. He gets his second personal foul. And when he comes out, it's like Tech all of a sudden gained all this confidence in the paint. And when Ed was in there throughout this game, they didn't want any part of him. But then, boy, when he wasn't in there for that whole first half, they kind of gained a lot of confidence.
He was the difference in the game in the second half. And just his effort and his toughness around the basket was huge. He finished with another double-double. You know, we got to keep him on the floor and then take him out, you know, breaks when obviously he's tired, but he makes a huge difference for a basketball team up front. You know, he's been, you know, incredibly consistent.
Well, the game was tied 17-17 at about the 5:25 mark, and then the Racers were down by 6 at the half, 26-20. Murray State was outscored 26-12 after Daniel had to leave the game because of his second personal foul. So Ed's got no points and 4 rebounds at half, and then in the second half, I just think he showed why I think he's the best big in our league. He may not be the biggest guy.
Yeah, no,
but he plays so much bigger than he is.
Yeah, without question. You know, and that's the frustrating thing right now. You know, Isaiah's tremendous, Ed's tremendous. You know, I think we've got a good basketball team. We're not maxing out right now, and we've got to figure out ways to max out. Whether it's getting the ball inside more or getting some more productivity from other people. But, you know, on a weekend where you shoot 5 for 36 from 3, and they're not all great shots, so say 10 were bad, you still went 5 for 26, and that's not good enough. And 28 for 48 from the line, that's not good enough to win on the road. And, you know, it's when you look at shooting percentages, 1 or 2 shots change dramatically. You know, 1 or 2 makes or 2 or 3 more free throws, you score 75 points on Saturday. The margin for error is just very, very small, and that's why you can't, you know, dig yourselves holes, and we can't go through these scoring droughts that we do.
Coach, there with about 8:20 to go, it was the defensive end that really turned the game. Wilson had a couple of steals there, and that gave you your first lead since the first half. You got up by 9 with 4:07 to go, and then took care of it from there.
I was really proud of Stacy. You know, he has a lot of pressure on him, stepping into a starting role this year and following up, you know, Dante and Juwan's performance from last year. And, you know, he hasn't shot the ball extremely well right now, turned it over some, but I thought he was the key factor in turning that game, and I was proud for him and happy for him that got a couple steals that was able to extend the lead.
Well, the Racers won this one by the score 47-39. If you take a look at the box score, I may keep this one for a long time because I don't know if you'll ever see another game, you know, where both teams have more turnovers than field goals. The Racers shot 34%. Tennessee Tech was 255, and the Racers did a great job on the Golden Eagles. They only had 4 field goals in the second half, so it was a big win for the Racers on the road. Yes, it was ugly, but just get those wins, and so that allowed at least the Racers to have a split this week. That's not what they want, but now they're going to go back to work and get ready for Austin Peay on Saturday. So another break here with head coach Steve Prohm. Still to come, we'll take a look at the standings and also the scores from the weekend and the schedule ahead for the Racers. We'll do that next.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, Service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
That's the worst half of football I've ever seen. Are you telling me we can't do this?
I got this, Coach.
You know, people said, Pepsi Max, you can't get maximum Pepsi taste with 0 calories.
Who said that?
But Pepsi Max didn't listen.
We just delivered it. So get out there and taste that sweet
0-calorie victory!
The little guy's right.
Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Do you validate parking?
I'm not that drunk. My house is only down the street.
I'm the most sober one here.
I only have 1 drink.
According to studies, 25% of 21-year-old college students have admitted to drinking and driving. Almost every 90 seconds, someone is injured. Every day, 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. Don't be selfish. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and drive.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Murray State tradition. We are racers.
Hey Racer fans, don't forget to check out GoRacers.com. It's the homepage of the Murray State Racers. New videos each week, highlights and post-game comments, and you can watch the Racer Report anytime you want, and we've got archive programs back for the last few seasons. You can check that all out at GoRacers.com. Here inside the Murray State locker room in the CFSB Center, Dave Winder with head coach Steve Prohm, and let's take a look at the standings after the weekend as the Racers were playing at Jacksonville State. SEMO lost at Eastern Illinois. The Panthers have won 3 in a row. Belmont got a victory at Eastern Kentucky. Tennessee State lost at Morehead State, coach. Edwardsville lost at home to Martin. Austin Peay lost at Tennessee Tech. And you take a look at the way the East and the West is going out. As usual in conference play, boy, it's a wrestling match some nights.
Yeah, it is, and obviously the East has some very good teams. You know, with their top 5 all having winning records. Belmont's playing exceptionally well. Coach Bird's doing a fantastic job. I knew it would be difficult their first year in the league, especially with 3 terrific seniors, because they have a tough style of play to prepare for, and it's everybody's first time against them. So, but he's done such a great job there for so long that when we play them next week, we're going to have to be really locked in. And Eastern's having a terrific regular season. Tennessee State's very good. Morehead State's very good, and we know Jacksonville's very tough. So, our goal right now, we're in second place overall if you look at it, and we're in first place in the West Division, and just try to win our next game, beat P, and then we'll have a big game to cut the gap with Belmont in half.
Yeah, Coach mentioned to the team coming home on Saturday, we'll take it one at a time, and the next one is the Govs on Saturday at noon. So we'll take another break here with head coach Steve Prohm. We'll come back and we'll take a look at the schedule ahead next on the Racer Report.
I'm not that drunk. My house is only down the street.
I'm the most sober one here.
I only have 1 drink.
According to studies, 25% of 21-year-old college students have admitted to drinking and driving. Almost every 90 seconds, someone is injured. Every day, 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. Don't be selfish. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and drive.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Murray State tradition. We are racers.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, Service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
That's the worst half of football I've ever seen. Are you telling me we can't do this?
I got this, Coach.
You know, people said, Pepsi Max, you can't get maximum Pepsi taste with 0 calories.
Who said that?
But Pepsi Max didn't listen.
We just delivered it. So get out there and taste that sweet 0-calorie victory!
The little guy's right.
Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Do you validate parking?
Hi folks, welcome back to the Race Report with head coach Steve Prohm here in the CFSB Center. Let's take a look at the schedule. Big games coming up and a great chance for Racer fans to come out and see Murray State play. The Saturday game, coach, is at noon. That's going to be great to play a high noon game against the Govs on Saturday. I love day games, and I'm sure we're going to have a big crowd in here, and it'll be a great atmosphere for Racer basketball.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. You know, you got to keep everything in perspective. I understand the things we've got to get better at. That's part of it. That's part of growth. You know, we've got people in new positions. We just got to keep getting better. I know everybody say, hey, you're 20 games in. I understand that, but you know, people are playing us different every game, and we've got to adjust to that. But the biggest thing is we're 15-5. We're 6-2. We're in first place in the West Division, and we've got 3 huge home games where we need to get back to playing good basketball. And you know, the only thing I can ask is that the fans come out and be really loud, be really boisterous, and pack out the bank.
You know, every season is different. You've been in the game a long, long time. You never have the same season twice. It's different.
Well, yeah, it's just, you know, it's very similar. You know, we went 31-5. We came back, and you know, the next year we lose to Eastern Illinois at home. We lose at SEMO. We get beat at home by Austin Peay. You know, just different things like that. That there's a couple games out there that you know you should have won, but you know, for whatever reason. And this season's a little bit similar, but we know where we got to get better at. You know, going into February, and I believe in my heart that I know we will.
Okay, we're going to take our final break here with head coach Steve Prohm. We'll come back and wrap it up in just a moment here on the Racer Report.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Murray State tradition. We are racers.
I'm not that drunk. My house is only down the street.
I'm the most sober one here.
I only have 1 drink.
According to studies, 25% of 21-year-old college students have admitted to drinking and driving. Almost every 90 seconds, someone is injured. Every day, 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. Don't be selfish. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and drive.
That's the worst half of football I've ever seen. Are you telling me we can't do this?
I got this, Coach.
You know, people said, Pepsi Max, you can't get maximum Pepsi taste with 0 calories.
Who said that?
But Pepsi Max didn't listen.
We just delivered it. So get out there and taste that sweet 0-calorie victory!
The little guy's right.
Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Do you validate parking?
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
Hi folks, here ready to wrap it up on the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm this week. And coach and I, we always have the stat sheet in our hand. You've got yours right now, I got mine. And sometimes you just kind of look at it and you go, wow, that was quite a week we had. When you look at last week, it's just hard for me to believe that the Racers aren't going to shoot the ball better. I mean, it's really kind of in a slump right now. But when you take a look at the guys we know can make shots, you got to think that part of it's going to get better, and it'll probably get better quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easier said than done, but one shot, in that Jacksonville State game makes the difference,
right.
And we've got to shoot the basketball better, and we got to take better shots, and we need to put more pressure on the basket and get the ball inside and go more inside out. Though the shots are good shots. I mean, it's hard to tell guys, man, you're wide open.
Take it.
Don't shoot. Shoot. It's tough, but at some point you got to knock them down too. You can't go 5 for 36 and expect to beat a lot of people.
Yeah, and I know this team, perhaps in the best free throw shooting team that we've had here in a while, but it should be better than what it was last week.
Yeah, 28 for 48. I know I mentioned a couple times, but to win on the road and be efficient, you got to make, and it's maybe not 28, but 34. That makes a difference if you're just 34 for 48. So we just got to continue to get better, continue to stay together, and continue to trust and believe in what we know is the right thing.
All right, Coach, we're rooting for you and the Racers.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay, Head Coach Steve Prohm. We'll see you next time on the Racer Report. And as you leave you today, here's the voice of the Racers, Neil Bradley, taking a look at the last part of the Jacksonville State game.
Well, our score here, 62-57. Each team in a double bonus. Racers 28 on the shot clock. Wilson looks to get it in to Garrett. Wilson from 25 feet buried the three-pointer. 62-60 with 29 seconds to go. Wilson comes up big. Gaines dribbling in the backcourt, and Wilson fouled him. And again, the one guy on the court you didn't want to foul was Gaines. Daniel dives to get the rebound. It's a one-possession game, folks. 63-60, 20 seconds to go. Cannon out top. Double team. They don't want him to take a shot. Cannon knifes inside, puts the shot up, missed it, but drew contact, and it'll send Cannon to the line with 12.8 to go. He's at 5 of 7 free throws. Racers on the day, just 57% at the line. Cannon with 18 points. That one looks short, but it rolls over and goes in. It hit the front of the rim, popped up, rattled, and fell. Racers can only get within a point here with 12.8 seconds to go. They'll be in a spot where they may have to foul, and they don't want to foul Gaines. Second one good. And a timeout taken by Steve Prohm. They get it to Boggs. Boggs can run the baseline and does. They get it to Gaines. They don't want to foul him. He gives it stolen by Daniel. I didn't see what happened in the corner, but I do know that it's going to go to Jacksonville State. Or is it? No. The Racers forced a turnover. So 10 seconds left. Moss will trigger it. He looks inside. Garrett puts the shot up. Gone! The Racers lead with 8.1 seconds to go. 64-63. Right side, Williams. Williams knifes his way in. Went up. He's fouled with 2.4 seconds to go. He'll have free throws with a chance to tie or win the game. On the day, Williams has hit 4 of 6 free throws. He's the leader on the day with 15 points. He needs one to tie it. He got it. Side of the rim, left, right. It went down at 64 all. Racers with no timeouts. Jacksonville State does have 2. The second free throw could put Jacksonville State ahead and within 2.4 seconds of a victory. Williams, second free throw for the lead, is in the air. It's good. And timeout taken. No timeout taken by Jacksonville State. 2.4 seconds left. If the Racers have a prayer play, it's time to do it. Inbounds, it comes to Cannon. Cannon, 2 seconds. 1 lets it fly at the buzzer. Hit high off the backboard and missed. And Jacksonville State's players celebrate their first ever victory over Murray State.